Hey, what's up, viewers? Welcome to this week's session of Omni Reviews,
where we talk about everything guaranteed not to get you laid.
I'm your host, Sparky.
And I'm Handsome Joe.
And in this week's episode, we're talking about the upcoming production of the Ghostbusters reboot.
Or as we're calling it here, Babes Who Bust Estrogen.
You heard us right. We said reboot, not the highly procrastinated Ghostbusters 3 we've all been promised. This is going to be a full-on revamp starring a female cast.
Boy, I'd hate to be a ghost on the first of the month.
Before we discuss what we know about this movie, let's talk about everything we already know and love about the Ghostbusters franchise.
Like, don't cross the stream.
Don't cross the stream. Why?
Ghostbusters is a 1984 American science fantasy comedy, filmed, directed, and produced by Ivan Reitman. It's written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis and stars Bill Murray, Aykroyd, and Ramis as three eccentric parapsychologists in New York City who start a ghost-catching business.
Professional paranormal investigation and elimination.
Oh, but let's not forget about the lovable Ernie Hudson.
That's right, the discount GoBot Eddie Murphy. The role of Winston was originally written for Murphy, but had to turn it down due to filming Beverly Hills Cops.
Oh, but that's okay. If you put Eddie Murphy in a dryer, you get Ernie Hudson.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe it.
While we're on the topic of cast changes, the role of Peter Venkman was originally written for Aykroyd's SNL companion, John Belushi.
And the role of Lewis was given to Rick Moranis after John Candy could not commit to the role. But that's okay, seeing as how Candy was going to be a German-talking business stickler, and God knows there's too many of them.
Many Shubs and Zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of the floor that day, I can tell you.
Ghostbusters was released in the United States on June 8, 1984, and it was a critical and commercial success.
It received positive responses from critics and audiences, grossing $242 million in the U.S. and more than $295 million worldwide.
That's a big tweet.
It was nominated for 2 Oscars at the 57th Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects and Best Original Song.
But lost to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and the Woman in Red, whatever the hell that is.
The American Film Institute ranked Ghostbusters 28th in its AFI's 100 Years, 100 Laughs list of film comedies.
After its release, it launched a media franchise, which includes 2 cartoon shows, several video games, and a 1989 sequel, Ghostbusters 2.
Speaking of the sequel, let's talk about that. On second thought, let's move on.
Hey, all I have to say is Dancing Ghost Splooge.
Well, Ghostbusters 2 didn't quite carry the magic as the original. The crew originally didn't even want to create it. The first movie was meant to be conclusive, but the studio insisted on making it after the success of the first movie and the real Ghostbusters cartoon show.
Oh, of course, those damn studios, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
After the second movie came out, Aykroyd vowed to bring us a third movie, making it a trilogy.
Yeah, we all see how that turned out.
I've been holding my breath for the last decade or so. During the 1990s, Aykroyd wrote a script for a potential third film in the series. The concept had the characters transported to an alternate version of Manhattan called Manhattan, where the people and places are hellish versions of their originals and where the Ghostbusters meet the devil.
But fortunately, that modified script was later used in Ghostbusters the video game.
In the next years to come, we kept hanging on to every word that the third movie is going to come that we can all know and love.
It's like being in an abusive relationship. They keep making promises and then they just beat your ass. Haha, the drama.
After the death of Harold Ramis in February of 2014, a source from Sony Pictures insisted that Ramis was involved in Ghostbusters 3 mainly for a cameo appearance.
On August 2nd, 2014, it was reported that Paul Feig is now in talks to direct a reboot with the franchise, featuring women in all the lead roles. Oh!
On September of 2014, Aykroyd told Hollywood reporters that he wanted to do a Ghostbusters-style universe in line with what Marvel has already done with its own shared cinematic universe.
Isn't that what DC's doing now, trying to play catch-up?
Everybody's trying to cash in on what Marvel's done.
Exactly, and they cannot compare. I love that Bob Downey Jr.
On October 8th, 2014, The Hollywood Reporter announced the screenwriter Katie Dippold would be writing the script.
Oh, that Katie Dippold. Oh, yeah.
It's widely known that third movies in the franchise tend to suck.
Oh, you ain't lying, brother. Let's look at some things like Iron Man 3, Terminator 3, Jaws 3D, and the never-ending story just sucked my ass.
They could, however, go in the other direction with the success of third movies such as Return of the King, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, or Army of Darkness.
And Debbie Does Dallas 3, Cheers from the Rear. I love that one.
As the events unfold, we'll know if this is going to hold up without Dan Aykroyd heading the voyage.
I don't see how it could. I love that guy. Just look at him. He's so adorable.
Hey, where these stairs go?
like being with a hooker.
It's time to wrap it up.
From Omniac Studios, I'm Sparky.
And I'm Handsome Joe.
Tune in next week.
And we'll continue to talk nerdy to you.
See you next time. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.